This might be a big one. Yeah, here it is. That's a big one. Oh, shit. Wow. Oh my God. I gotta get the hell out of here.
A monstrous super typhoon has slammed into the Philippines, a storm so huge it can be seen from space, winds over 215 kilometers per hour, waves towering over 10 meters. Nearly 1 million people evacuated as Super Typhoon FUNG-WONG, locally known as Uwan, batters the islands with unimaginable power. Entire provinces are under Signal Number 5, the highest alert level, and early reports confirm casualties and widespread destruction. Tonight, the Philippines faces one of the strongest storms in modern history. Just days ago, FUNG-WONG began as a small tropical disturbance over the western Pacific. Warm waters and perfect atmospheric conditions triggered rapid intensification, turning it into a Category 4 super typhoon in hours. Its circulation expanded over 1,400 kilometers wide, covering almost the entire archipelago. Meteorologists warned, this isn't just another storm. This is a monster. By November 8th, it entered the Philippine area of responsibility, earning the local name Uwan, meaning rain in Bisaya. The eye was massive, perfectly circular, spinning with deadly precision. Forecasters urged full evacuations across Luzon and Bicol. Across coastal towns, sirens wailed. Families rushed to evacuation centers with children, pets, and whatever they could carry. In Catanduanes, Albay, and Aurora, more than 900,000 residents fled low-lying areas as night approached. Fishermen pulled boats ashore. Power lines swayed. Everyone braced for impact. At 9:10 p.m. on November 9th, PAGASA confirms Super Typhoon Uwan made landfall in Dinalungan, Aurora. Maximum sustained winds reached 185 kilometers per hour, gusts up to 230 kilometers per hour. The storm's wind field stretched 900 kilometers from its eye, almost the entire Luzon region. Bulletin number 14 warned of life-threatening storm surges exceeding 3 meters and seas up to 14 meters. The monster had arrived. Greater than in Virac, Catanduanes, streets became rivers. Floodwater swallowed cars and homes. Families clung to rooftops as rescuers battled currents. Electricity vanished. Lightning became the only light. greater than. In Belair, Aurora, witnesses described a giant, perfectly clear eye passing overhead, calm for minutes, then chaos as the opposite eye walls smashed through. Polangui, Albay, saw roofs ripped away, trees uprooted, and communication lines severed. In Camaligan, Camarines Sur, a hanging bridge swayed violently, captured in terrifying footage that spread online, showing nature's raw power. By midnight, signal number 5 covered wide sections of Luzon. Metro Manila faced storm force gusts. Rivers in Bulacan and Pampanga overflowed. Hundreds of thousands of families were displaced. Disaster teams described the situation in 2 words: widespread destruction. By sunrise, Uwan's core had ripped across the heart of northern Luzon. Entire towns in Nueva Vizcaya, Aurora, and Carino lay in ruins. Concrete power poles were snapped like twigs. Transmission towers toppled, one after another, plunging millions into darkness. In Cabanatuan City, corrugated roofs spun through the air like blades. Torrential rain triggered landslides that buried mountain roads and isolated villages for hours. Satellite imagery from PAGASA and NOAA showed the storm's eye wall tightening even over land.
Jordan!
Evidence of terrifying strength. Emergency crews described winds so loud they sounded like a passing train that never ends. Rivers swelled beyond record levels. The Pampanga River, the Agno River, and dozens more burst their banks, swallowing farmland and neighborhoods alike.
Ba na, duman. Buk na duman ang ba. Ay, sa tindahan ko, ba na. Bilis oh. Malabaw na so tukawan sa waiting shed. Ay, ba na sa kukon.
In Verac and Legazpi, floodwaters reached second-story windows. Fishing boats were hurled inland. Fuel tanks exploded after being torn from ports.
Hangin. Matindi ano? Yeah. Kasi ko balat yung kahoy talaga.
Bicol International Airport reported gusts above 230 kilometers per hour, scattering aircraft like toys. Even areas hundreds of kilometers away, Metro Manila, Batangas, Quezon, and Mindoro, experienced gale-force winds and sheets of rain. At the height of the chaos, authorities confirmed communications collapse across at least 9 provinces. Evacuation centers overflowed, food and water became scarce. In Polangui and Camaligan, residents described the sound of metal twisting, walls collapsing, and water roaring through streets. Drone footage later revealed entire barangays underwater, with only church spires and rooftops visible above the muddy brown sea. Greater than PAGASA's emergency update warned of storm surges exceeding 3 meters along the eastern coast, enough to erase coastal villages. In Casaguran and Baler, waves hammered the shoreline relentlessly. Concrete seawalls cracked and coastal roads vanished beneath debris. Relief teams couldn't reach some areas for over 12 hours because every main bridge had been destroyed. By midday, unofficial estimates showed thousands of homes destroyed, hundreds of schools damaged, and critical hospitals flooded. Agricultural losses across central Luzon and Bicol could reach billions of pesos. Officials called Uwan the largest and costliest storm in decades. Yet even amid the devastation, rescuers continued pulling people from rooftops, guiding the elderly through waist-deep water, and flying relief goods into the most isolated towns. The storm's rage tested the nation, but the response showed unmatched courage. As dawn broke, satellite images showed the storm sprawling across the entire island. Super Typhoon Uwan was weakening, but its rain bands still flooded provinces far from the center. Meanwhile, in the Visayas, another system, Typhoon Kalmaegi, locally known as Tino, struck almost simultaneously. Together, they unleashed catastrophic rains, landslides, and flash floods. In Canlaon City, Negros Oriental, more than 220 people died, 300 were injured, and hundreds of thousands of families lost everything. The Philippines faced a double disaster. Yet amid the chaos, stories of courage shone. Volunteers formed human chains to rescue trapped neighbors. Emergency crews delivered food by boat. Strangers opened homes to evacuees. The Filipino spirit, unbreakable, compassionate, strong, stood firm against the storm. As Uwan moves toward the Taiwan Strait, recovery begins here at home. Authorities urge everyone to follow PAGASA and NDRRMC for updates and to support relief efforts wherever possible. This is your Weather Awareness channel, bringing information, not fear. Stay alert, stay safe, and remember, nature's power is immense, but human resilience is stronger. Pray for the Philippines.